Welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we've got a little bit different view than normal because we've got a little bit something that's huge and doesn't fit in the normal view. So there's the bottom saucer that is going to actually support this whole thing. And I suppose I could tell you, if you hadn't seen it before, what this is. This is the C-57D from Polar Lights. It is massive. It is 27 inches in diameter. I've done one video so far prior to this, just showing the parts. This is how big this thing is going to be. This is 28 inches across, and it's might be more. I might have bitten off more than I can chew. Planning on doing this at taking this to Wonderfest. Matter of fact, last night on the HTM live stream, I kind of was like, okay, I'm done. I can't do this because of some issues, and I'll talk about those in a few minutes as we go through this. So here we have the clear dome, and I'm still not sure if I'm going to do what Boyd over at TrekWorks did or not. He cut the dome in half. Let me bring this up just a hair. He cut the dome in half with paint so that you had one side. If you looked at it from this side, it was opaque. You couldn't see inside. If you looked at it from the other side, you could see inside, and you could look down inside the ship. Kind of a neat idea. Not sure if I'm going to go with that or just keep it clear the way it is and just not glue it on. So we got the top, the very top of it, and it fits on here like this. I have to say this kit is not for the faint of heart because the parts don't fit really well. Lots of work to get the parts to fit. Matter of fact, the saucer is put together with Tester's red tube rather than anything else for now. There's also going to be extra work that I'm going to be putting into the inside of the saucer because, like I said, it is massive. You can see swirl marks in the paint. I've got a lot of filling and sanding that I've got to do, but I've been working mainly on the interior. If I don't get the interior done, there's no reason to finish the exterior. So let me go ahead and lift this part out of here. And we're going to switch views real quick so you can see there's a lot of work going on in here. And what I'm probably going to do is some popsicle sticks around the edges here, maybe across these right here. And here I am. I can see it. You can't. There we go. But around the edges here, maybe some popsicle sticks on the seams and along here. Discovered yesterday something that I was looking at and was like, it's okay. I'll show. Actually, I saw that in the bottom of the saucer. But this thing is huge, and you can see better on this view that there's a lot of seam work. I may actually end up using, once I sand this, I may end up switching to a orbital sander to smooth it out. So let me move this over across the room. I actually have a spot on a table. That's the only thing that goes there right now, is this saucer. So let me go ahead and pull the interior out at the same time. And I've just got all the legs sitting here. And because you have 3 spurs of the exact same thing on the legs. So the legs, I actually have 4 total that can come down. I'm not going to do 4 total. There's the 3, the two that are just fillers, and then the stairs. That's going together slowly but surely. I'll put these over here, and this is where I hit a hard speed bump on this last night on the HTM stream. So you can see, maybe not very well. Let's see if I can bring it up. So you see the black dots in there. I put some black on them just so that I could try and line it up, because I discovered last night. Let's put this here. You can see I've got some parts glued on. I'll talk about them in a second. But I discovered last night that my little idea, so I have an idea what I'm going to do is I'm going to light the inside here. I've got LEDs going in here. But what I discovered is that the distance between here, the distance between the bottom of this part here and the hull here, is just barely the thickness of the flange on an LED. Not ready to show that yet. I have these 5, sorry, I keep going out of screen. These 5 LEDs here are going to stay there. They're flickering. They're going to give a nice effect. They're going to be subdued because there's going to be internal lighting, and I think it's going to look really cool. I've got 2 solid SMDs here, right here, solid blue SMDs there. They would fit. They're coming back out because I don't need them there. I don't want the solid blues that close. The solid blues are going to be back here in the back. And I realized something this morning. I've got, I was like, yeah, we'll do this and we'll do this, and I probably will still run all the wires through here, but that's an open leg. So be a little bit interesting, but I did look at it. The stairs are going to go here, so this isn't going to be too bad. It's going to be in one of the back legs, and I'm going to run them out and almost immediately straight up to where you can't see them, the wires. That's where we're at right now. I've got some more LEDs, some flickering SMDs that are going to go in here on order from HDA Model Works. When they get here, I'll start popping them in. When I get this done, when I get this lighting done, this is getting glued in because I'm not going to mess with it anymore after that. I will be able to access the bottom. Let's go ahead and switch back over. I'll be able to access the bottom for the rest of the ship, for this part here, through the opening here. Because I've still got to put in the nav computer here, a couple other little things. I've got to do the beds in here, but this will be going in pretty quick to firm up the bottom, because the bottom is really fragile. Like I said, there are a lot of fitment issues. Oh, wait, before we talk about that, let's talk about this. So you can see right here on the bottom is where the stasis chambers are. These 5 in the front are going to be lit from below. A couple of them in the back will probably be lit from below as well with flickering SMDs. And then I looked at it this morning and I was like, there's so much room. There's all the room in the world that I need to be able to run wires here. There's no way you're ever going to see down inside here. So I'm going to pop some LEDs in here. Might have been smarter to do that from the outset, but not since I've got these 5 here are going to be flickering from the bottom. I need to put a couple of flickering ones in the back just so that you've got the light through the tubes that I'm going to be putting in there. But the rest of the lighting can be done from up here. Same with any areas over here and here, which let's put this on here and see if I remember right. Yeah, these other solid areas other than, let's go ahead and pick this up. Over here, which is another command area that there's going to be some consoles in there, but everything else is pretty much open. Let's see, let me double check. And this is a really difficult piece to fit together. They do not line up really well. The way you fit this together is you have these, where where is it? You got this little tab here. Little tab right there. It's not focusing very well. Let's switch back to the top camera. Actually, leave it on the top camera. Let me put this away. We'll talk about that in a minute. But, oh, there's why. I'm just looking. I now realize why this is so flimsy right now, because I haven't done the glue on the pie wedge. What I did was I did a pie wedge, pie wedge, glued them together out here at the edge. Did not yet do this part here. Learning what I've learned, I know what I got to do here. I'm going to put that together, but it's pretty flimsy right now, so I got to be really gentle with it. Otherwise, it will break. And the one that I was going to use that is the older kit that I decided to get a newer kit for this build. Might have to break into those parts. But so now let's talk about a little bit more on this. Now that I'm in my normal spot and I'm not reaching halfway across the desk, this is going to be lit up. I've got the beds going in here. There's conference table going in here. This is your command section, your flight section. This is the navigation section. But all of that, all those areas, if they need to be lit, can be lit from the top. This area will be lit somehow from up here. SMD's in there. Something up here, probably a couple of LEDs from the top here. Don't need to light this area here, same. I can do some LEDs from the top, which that helps a lot because there's no room underneath. I was thinking that there was going to be a lot more room underneath than there was. But what I was talking about before is you can see there, you got the rim, and there's that light. That is the top of one of the stasis chambers. And they're not really chambers. My thought is that I'm going to put some clear tubes on here because I think it looks better that way. So it's actually something rather than what they had in the movie, which was these pads, top and bottom, and then they stood in them and they were in stasis. I like the clear tube idea. But so you got the rim there, but the problem is the way it fits on here. It is so picky to get it in place because you got such a large part and you got these little tabs that if you can get one of them really to truly line up, it kind of is close. And see, every time I touch it, it shifts all over the place, this is also going to be part of the problem with getting the more than a front row. I've pretty much decided I'm going to just do a front row of stasis pods. But if I can get these two lined up, if I can get it to line up like this, I'm going to clamp it, glue it on one side, and then we'll go from there. We're going to have to go around the edges a little bit at a time. The walls should meet up. That's something actually that I've noticed that I think is kind of funny, is that where you put the doors in, line up, we put the doors in, and it was suggested to me to take the same orbital sander I'm going to have to use on the outside of the saucer, but I'm not going to do that. That would be a huge modification. But you can see right there, when you put the doors in, the walls for the doors, they don't go all the way up. Those walls are add-in parts. This wall, this wall, this wall, and this wall are add-in parts, and they don't go all the way up, which neither do these walls. It's kind of funny the way they did it. It's just a hair too short, and you can't put it together and then fill it because there's no getting in there. It's going to be an adventure. I'm glad that I've got, what is it now? It is August. So I've got about 8 months to finish this. It's going to be an adventure. It's going to be a lot of work, but I'm going to do the best I can. And I think it'll end up at Wonderfest. If I get a merit, or if I get a gold, or if I don't get anything, I don't care. This is just, it's such an iconic and unique model. And I think actually what I might end up doing is cutting those tabs off, because those tabs just don't help. I'm not even positive they're all lined up correctly. I keep playing with this thing. This side they work. You can see that one's in place, that one's in place. And I have big enough clamps that once I get one panel like this, there, if this panel, if I were to, come on, come back where you belong. If I was to glue this down right now, if I was done far enough, I could glue this down and then I could work my way around the outside and flex the plastic to get it to go in place. It's kind of funny, a lot of room in this ship, but not enough room for lights. It really is a little bit difficult for lights. And then when this goes on, most of this is visible. So the wiring is going to have to come through here and be hidden as best I can. It's going to be an adventure. I hope you follow along. Not sure how often I'm going to do a video on it. I've got, like I said, I've got about another 8 months to do this. If it might be as simple as a video a month, it might be more often. But if you want to really see where the progress is happening, stop up by the HTM streams on Friday and Sunday, because that's where I'm doing most of the work on here. And let me bring this back over. That was the first time I mocked it up, because I just sat that on there just to see what it looks like. And you can see, let's switch cameras again. You can see with the dome on, not going to be able to see a whole lot. Let me see, where are the stasis chambers? The stasis chambers are right there. Let's go ahead and leave that like that. I need to make sure I don't grab wrong wires, because I have a couple of wires, a couple of LEDs that are not resisted in there. They're the SMDs. But, well, let me pause the camera while I get this wired up, and you'll get an idea of what the effect is going to be of having the blue lights in there. Okay, so the wall is not in there that's going to be in there, but you can see a little bit how it's, let's see if we can do this a little bit. There. That's the stasis chamber. There's going to be a wall over here. So you're not, no, let's go ahead and pull that out of there. There's going to be a wall running right here. So you're not going to see really well the rest of it back there. But if I turn on these two LEDs right there, which are not flickering LEDs, it kind of blows out everything. So when I put some more flickering LEDs, when I put flickering LEDs in the second row, and then I go back here and put non-flickering LEDs from the top, I think the effect is going to be really fantastic, especially if I do silver or something like that. This, the door will probably be silver. I'm not sure what color I'm going to do the walls yet, but because of just the design of the model, it is going to be hand painted, so hopefully it works out well. Like I said, you can watch the progress on this video on the HTM live streams on Fridays and Sundays. Let's go ahead and put that on there. And regardless of, regardless of how much work it is, I think it's going to come out really well. And the LEDs are actually a lot bolder than that, which is odd versus a when you've got a camera. The LEDs are not blown out at all on the camera. They're more blown out in real life than they are in the camera here. But I'm really excited for this build. There's a shot from the top. Where's my remote? Is my remote handy? There's my remote. Let's see if we can get it to zoom in. I never can get this thing to work. So that blue glow is going to be subdued a little bit by the fact that there are going to be tubes in there. And like I said, there's only going to be the front row tubes. I'm really looking forward to how this is actually going to turn out. I hope you are too. I hope you keep watching. I appreciate you stopping by. Like and subscribe if you like this content. Hit the bell icon to be notified of any time I post more of this content, more of any content. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow. And I will see you in the next video.